Okay, y'all already know this your boy First Fam Chill, man. First Fam Radio, First Fam Radio Digital Networks. I got with me tonight, man, and this is of honor, man, for this brother to come here tonight right now, man. You know what I mean? With all of the stuff that's been going on in the industry, man. Um, all of the interviews he's doing right now, with his book. You know what I mean, man? I got to bring out my man, my homie, my big homie, the OG himself, Mr. Mark Curry, formerly of Bad Boy. My guy. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing, man?
On the show. Yeah, cooler, man. What's going on?
I got you here today, man. You've been doing a lot of interviews, and I hate to be the person to bring up a lot of stuff you already touched on, but you know, we wouldn't be the radio and getting clarity if we didn't talk to you. You said it 100 times in plenty of interviews about Diddy. You know, him paying 30 million to to get rid of the SA cases and there's other people who's been popping up with allegations against him. Since all of this stuff has risen, what's your thoughts now? You know what I mean? Because it's we passed the part of the allegations. Cat Williams then went on Club Shay Shay and started speaking on stuff, and he said some things about Diddy, and a lot of it is stuff that's in your book that can be covered in the book. So just for my viewers and my listeners out there, could we just talk on that just a little bit?
Well, it's a thing about when you're humbling yourself as a person, and what you're doing is you're not trying to live for the way that you think. You're not living with your mind. You're kind of leading yourself with your heart. So when you think about the bigger challenges that you have to face in life, sometimes it's easy to say, hey, you know what? Any battle that I have to deal with in life that I don't feel that I might be capable of handling, I'll let it alone and I'll leave it to God. So when you realize that the victory is not yours and you say, you know what, it doesn't matter if I win. I'm not here to win. I'm just here to make a point, here to make a statement, here to be heard. So
Definitely.
when you look at it like that, you leave it alone and you say, you know what, I don't have to pray for anything bad to happen to you or wish for any ill intent to come into your life. Only thing I have to do is keep on living my life, keep on loving my life, keep on understanding that, God is real and everything else will fall to the wayside. So I knew that one day that this time would come, but I didn't ask for it. But when it came about, it just let me know that God is real.
Definitely. And
Mm-hmm.
karma is real, man. I gotta say that, man, because I mean, just a few pages in your book, you had some like short stories. You didn't get all the way into a lot of them, but it was some things in there that you have to go back and be like, you need to get the book to read. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna keep telling people that.
Yeah, it's
I
like
mean,
when people you can't never look at a book and say that a book gets old, because the Bible is a very old book and it's the number one selling book in the world today. So you can always pick up a book and learn something from a book. Never
definitely.
gets old.
In your book, you discussed the toll that you know, Puffy's pursuit of success took on the mental and emotional well-being of artists. Like, a lot of people took on a lot of emotional stress being signed to the label. Their mental health has been in question. Some even went to prison behind it, and speaking on G Dep. You know what I mean? And I think he just got granted clemency. But a lot of those people have suffered dearly, and that just brings me back to the title of your book. You know how P Diddy burned the artist at Bad Boy.
The bad
Um,
boys of hip hop. Yeah.
yeah.
Ah,
How do you think this relates to all the allegations and all the toxic behavior that's coming out of in the media right now about that? From Black Rob to just there's so many artists that you could name that you
you
know.
remember that song? What goes up must come down.
Uh huh.
What goes up is coming down, man. It's every dog has his day. And the only thing that I can really say, bro, is that I wish him well, and I hope that he finds his strength to overcome these hard times right now that he may be facing in his life.
Mm,
Every man deserves a chance. So I just, I'm not gonna bash him just because I wrote a book and just because he has a few allegations and things going on in his life. I'm not gonna bash him for that, because we all go through things. I hope that he just finds the strength that everybody else had to find in themselves in order to move on behind dealings with him. So everybody had to find the strength to walk away from a career or opportunity as an artist on Bad Boy. Everybody had to walk away one day and realize that this is it. There's nothing else that's going to become of this. This is over. I
mm.
need to change the things that I'm doing in order to get the results that I'm looking for because they're not happening this way. They're not going to happen this way. And once you
Definitely.
know that, that's when you move on. And I found myself with better spirited individuals, and I found myself in more pleasant situations. I found myself surrounded by beautiful people, you know, and the only thing that I had to do to change in order to have that was change some of the things about me. It's like not chasing the music career. Stop chasing the music career and look for being successful in other endeavors you might can indulge in. So that's it. Hope I
Definitely. I see we got some people in the chat right here.
mm-hmm.
Uh it said, Mark Curry, did you have a solid relationship with Shyne before and after being label mates? That's from Boulevard Skino. Shout out to Boulevard Skino. That's coming
Yeah,
in from YouTube.
and it was. Did I have what kind of relationship?
He says a solid relationship with Shyne before and after being label mates.
Oh
Like,
yeah, before Shine is like to me, he was like a brother. He was like a little brother to me, like the little brother I never had. Well, I did have a little brother, but he just became like a little brother to me, and that was it, because I can see when he used to listen to music, the music that used to inspire him, his grandmother, his mother, him being in the house where we lived at, Puff, one of Puff's places, we lived there, me and Sean lived there, and his grandmother and his mother that they used to come by to check on him or call to check on him and things like that. And I would be there and I would talk to them and be like, "Are he good? I'll make sure he all right. We here, we together. I'm gonna make sure we good." And that's how it was. It was me
word,
and yeah.
word. Can you speak to any instances in your book where um it was about the misconduct with Shine inside, like the shooting and everything prior to him going into being incarcerated? Like, were you around during that time that all of that stuff happened?
I was around, but I was around, but that was around the time when I started
Distancing.
Get me. I was distancing myself. I was preparing myself for the walk off,
Yeah.
getting my outro together. Because I knew I was ready to get away from it because it was embarrassing, especially as a growing man and people see you still chasing the same thing that may not never happen. So sometimes the best thing you can do is not say give up, but give it up. We never give up, but we can give up a lot of things that we do.
Definitely. I mean, and just to like, since all of these allegations came to the forefront, man, it just seemed like that book, your book, it just started just climbing. I know them phones started ringing, and everybody was like, "Damn, he said this. How many years ago? How many years it's been, Mark? Like,
For
you
15,
you've been telling these people for 15
15,
years,
15 years.
and now that it's coming out, everybody's like, their mind blown. And then it's more people coming out now. And I'm gonna just say this, man. It just seems to me since because of your book and other people coming up to the forefront, I think that the book helps encourage them to be like, you know what, I gotta speak on this, man, because I might, nobody gonna ever know the truth. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
people losing their lives every day to get in this industry, man. We watching kids drop out of high school, not picking up a trade, just what I mean, just to be on TV and say that they're a rapper. It's girls getting BBLs and everything else out there. You know what I mean? Just to be in this industry, man. So when it comes to the Illuminati and the selling of the souls and everything, man, is this some of the things that prompted you to write the book?
I mean, to not love yourself and love other things more than you love yourself would be very disrespectful to living. So the first thing that you're supposed to love before you love anything else is love yourself. So of course I love myself enough to make sure that I make good decisions in life for me. I love myself to make sure that I want to be successful at the things that I put my mind and efforts into. So the book, let me make sure I get back to your question and answer correctly. What was the last end of your question?
I was just saying that being that most of these people are coming to the forefront, and they've come across your book. Um, Being that all of this stuff is out in the open now, like, was that just the fuel to for you to write that book, and you knew that it would have an impact on a lot of the readers because you lived it, you know?
The if you read in my book isn't a book about putting Puff Daddy down or putting Puff Daddy before I put myself. So my book is really about me and my life
In your
and
experience.
meeting Puff
Okay.
and doing business with Puff. But the most important part of the story in my book is me and what I was looking for in life and what life is about. And how do I deal, or how does a person deal with life after you had when you dreamed of being the strongest person in the world, and then you grew older, and then you'd be like, wow, the world is producing stronger individuals than me at a high rate. So I have to kind of like walk along with my, I can't expect to be that person anymore. I have to
Yeah.
grow. I have to, maybe I can be the smartest one, but competition for self goals, things that you want to see that you accomplish by the time you're 30, 40, how you want to live when you're 50, 60. So life is a plan. And when you set out for life to be a certain way and it don't happen that way, and it don't at 20 you're not, still 20, is 30 you're not, 40 you're not, you just say, hey man, it's a roller coaster ride, but when you just believe and you trust, you say everything that was taken from me or or anything that was put in my way in order to throw me off track, one day is going to be removed from my walk and my path, and
Definitely.
I would be able to finish. So these are just obstacles that you got to hurdle over or go underneath or go around. All of these are just obstacles. The big picture
Hmm.
is self preservation. Me.
Definitely. Let me ask you that. I'm gonna ask you this question. Since the renewed interest in your book, do you plan on addressing, either further current editions and future editions of what's going on in today's music industry, like surrounding your work that you already done? Would it be a new addition to your book coming out, or uh, something in the works that you wanted to touch on that you might not touched on in this book?
The only thing that I think that's going to be the addition of this book is going to be the part after when I humbled myself and I suffered long enough, and then finally one day it was over. That's when I'll be able to live again. So that's the moment that I've been praying for. That's what I've been striving for. The moment that it's just all over and I can just breathe. I can walk out. And I was just telling somebody today that as a man it feels good to be able to walk into the bank, pull out 3 months of your bank statements or your pay stubs or whatever it is that you have, and everything's legit, and to have some credit, and you can be able to borrow or get anything you want,
Facts.
right?
That's
And
what
it's
life's
just
about.
like sometimes in life, the only thing you want to do is walk like that. I want to wake up. I want to do the things that I see other people doing as men. How does one take his family on vacation? He does that by planning and working hard and saving.
Definitely.
You know,
That's the key to it right there. Let me ask you, far as music, is that something that's going to be still a part of you, or are you totally removed from it?
music is always going to be a part of me. In fact, I did release some 2 songs recently, and then
You
I
ain't
said,
send them over here, Mark. Like, we still rock with you, bro.
I was like, this is what I didn't want to do. In the world where we live in, is either the world is going to have some kind of want or desire or need from you for you, and they're going to look for you and they're going to support you. But you cannot make people look for you or support you. And so I think that the support system, and as far as me being an artist, they're not focused on a 52-year-old guy that might can rap. They're more focused on the Generation Z artists and their life and things that are current to them. So the people who would have a lot of interest in me, my music, you think and you say, hey, man, it's like my brother's a barber. And I'm like, okay, he's older than me. I'm like, what happens when all of his clients go bald? What is he gonna do? Because everybody loses their hair at some point. Well, not everybody, but people start losing their hair, and we
Yeah,
start losing people. We start dying, and we be like, damn, when I was 50, I used to have 20 clients a day. When I'm 60, I only got 3 clients a day. When I'm 70, I only have like 1 client a week. So
and
you know
then
what I'm saying?
yeah, you
It's
start
like,
getting. Nah, I feel you on that. That right there would have me worried. Like, damn, what I mean? Like, you know, do I stay with it or not? But I think it's the same thing with basketball. So you start outgrowing it, you getting older, your knees wearing out, and it's like, I could still ball, but
if you made money for it, that's a different thing.
yeah, that's true.
Because you made money to have them bad knees and those things like that. But when you get older, I guess the older you get, man, things just change and you start thinking different and you start thinking like an older person and life just changes and goals change, desire wants changes. You know, those things change. Like when you was young, you wanted a Ferrari and you wanted a whatever else you might have wanted when you was young. When you get older, you don't want the Ferrari no more.
Yeah. You kind of outgrew that lifestyle right there. You're like, you know what? I just settle for a nice pickup, like a
Yeah,
F.
because you don't want nothing that's going to draw attention to you
Yeah,
or make you look different than you be like, man, the older I get, the more I want to look like everybody else.
yeah. Let me ask you this: what's some of the responses since all of this stuff come out in the opening? And I think you're still in the South, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, what's the response been like with like people in the public? They see you out. They might have just saw a couple interviews a couple weeks ago, and they
Yeah.
just catch you at dinner. Like,
Oh, you the guy that I seen on TV. I've been watching you. I've been following you. Best of luck, man. I really like your interviews. I like your story. I got your book. All of that kind of stuff.
yeah.
It's almost like you be like, as soon as you put your head out the door, somebody like, Mark Curry. You be like,
Yeah,
yeah, you
you can't
know.
even eat a sandwich if you out eating right now. You like,
They
damn.
notice me at the grocery store. The people who work at the grocery store. I went to the grocery store the other day. I'm ready to come. I'm ready to go to the line, and the person behind the line is looking like they got to use the bathroom. I'm like, what? Like, I was like,
Oh
you all right? He's like, man, I know who you are. He said, I finally got it. I said, who am I? He said, you the guy from TV. And I was like, he was a young guy.
yeah.
And he was from Africa.
Oh
And he
yeah.
worked at the Kroger's, the grocery store.
Uh-huh. But he
So
knew who you was though.
he knew who I was. So what that meant was that it's reaching people of all different walks in life.
Definitely.
And that's the results that I see in book sales now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Um Now what is it looking like right now as far as a tour for this book right here? Would you do a tour?
I would never get on a tour do with this.
Nah.
They have one of them fake signings.
Yeah.
Then when you look at the world, man, and you say, how many people are really truly diehard Diddy fans? And you have a one or two few people that's a little off.
Yeah.
And your objective in life is to never be around them. So I think I remove myself from anything that's going to put me around people who don't think right.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, I'd be like, nah, not unless it's in. It had to be in the middle of a hotel, uh, and then with the 5-star with the joint with the restaurant in it, and you
Yeah.
never leave the hotel. And they got a bookstore and a mall and all of that. I could do something somewhere like that, but I would never walk out those doors.
Yeah, never. I wouldn't either. But now I feel you on that, what I mean? But I would be worried like going somewhere to eat and I'm ordering my food and somebody just staring at me like they gotta go to the bathroom. That would freak me out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
yeah, you be like, but sometimes you got when people notice you, sometimes they fans.
yeah.
A lot of the haters they won't even speak to you and they still know you and they notice you.
That's
So you
real.
don't ever really got to really worry about meeting the haters.
Yeah, they
But
yeah,
you
they
but
know you, but they ain't gonna say that, they
say they want you to notice them.
facts.
So
Facts.
they
Um
yeah.
that's funny, man. And just that let me ask you this too, because this was something I don't know if a lot of people knew the relationship you had with Black Rob before before he passed away, and rest in peace to Black Rob, and my condolences to everybody in his circle.
Mhm.
Um During that time, man, you were online, you was there for him, man. You was everywhere for him. And I believe his manager had got out there and said some things out there about, I mean, the whole scenario in reference to you, but it was a lot of things that, I mean, was left out in that. And I
Johnny?
bring what's that?
You talking about his manager Johnny
I think the whoever was the last minute, it was
or
somebody
Jay?
who I think, yeah, he was the one doing all the interviews that just
Right? Jay ain't do no. I know Jay and John. I know it's Johnny. And let me see. Yeah, I think it's Jay. His other. I know both. And then I knew his managers. Yeah.
well, when he passed away, that they were going on there saying nobody did nothing for him, and nobody was there. I think he was dealing with he had checked himself out the hospital or something down there, but you were there to make sure he got to his appointments and things.
Hmm.
So I don't think people knew that, how close you was to Black Rob, and how much you really, I mean, cared and made sure he got some help, when he needed it, because he is